Welcome to the Full-Time FBA Show. In each episode, it's our goal to help you turn part-time hours into a full-time income selling almost anything on Amazon. And now, your hosts of the show, Stephen and Rebecca Smotherman.
Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. This week, we're on episode number 313, and we're talking about the silent killer of Amazon profits hiding in your inventory.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's spooky season, and this title seems appropriately spooky. Here with me to talk about it is my co-host, my husband, my business partner, Stephen Smotherman. How are you today, Stephen? And are you ready to talk about spooky silent killers?
Well, now I'm scared. No, I'm not. I'm totally not scared at all because I know exactly how to get past this fearful thing, and we're going to talk about it today on the Full-Time FBA Show.
I have some scary news for you. Apparently, this is a true crime podcast now. We are talking about the number one profit killer in your Amazon business. And it isn't your sourcing speed or your capital or your lack thereof. It's not even your competition. It's the inventory you should have never bought in the first place. It's hiding right there in your inventory view in Seller Central. It's lurking and mocking you as it collects digital dust. And the inventory is actually collecting actual dust in the warehouse. So today's episode is going to cover why bad buying decisions are the silent killer of your profits. Honestly, at some points, it might not even be that silent of a killer.
Yeah.
We're going to get into how you recognize the warning signs early and what you can do to protect your capital as we're moving through Q4.
Yeah, and speaking of Q4, if you want to know where the right inventory is hiding that is selling this season, don't miss our free masterclass coming up October 23rd, Q4 Sourcing Hotspots 101. We're going to show you the exact aisles and websites that are consistently producing profitable Amazon FBA inventory so that you can skip the guesswork and head straight to the good stuff. You can sign up for this free class, fulltimefba.com/hotspots. And don't worry, we'll remind you of that link again at the end of the episode.
All right, let's get into it. So I first want to make sure we understand just how costly it can be to make bad buying decisions. Unless you're just made of money, you really need to consider how making a less than stellar purchase can impact your entire business in more ways than just the actual expense of the item you purchased. Let's say you spend $200 on inventory that turns out to be a bad decision. And not just a bad decision because sometimes that happens, but a bad decision because you made it with incomplete information or in a hurry without going through all the steps of your buying process. So when that product gets stuck in your inventory and doesn't sell as expected, you're not just out that $200 expense. You've also tied up $200 in capital that you won't be able to use for an indefinite period until you resolve this issue. You're also incurring storage fees, which is especially brutal during Q4 with the storage fee increases this time of year. You've also got the opportunity cost of all the other winners you could have purchased and made good money on, but you didn't because you spent your money on a dud. And then there's the blow to your confidence and all the second guessing you'll do in the future because of how this time around went with a bad decision.
Okay, all of this, I have to admit, it really stinks and is a bummer to think about. But we're going to turn it around. So keep listening. This whole episode is not going to be a bummer. We promise.
Yeah, sorry to start the episode off that way. It sounds pretty grim.
I mean, it does. But you have to understand that bad sourcing decisions do happen. There are times where you make a decision and at the time you think you've done the right thing with your purchases, but later you regret it because your sales just didn't go like you expected them to. But then there's times where you can change the outcome from the very beginning because you recognize the signs of a potential disaster and you take the needed steps to prevent it. Yeah, there are ways to prevent potential disastrous buys in your Amazon inventory.
Yeah, these are things we go over on a regular basis with our coaching students and in the Momentum FBA membership because it's so crucial to understand and it can make all the difference in how you build momentum in your sales. There are some red flags you need to look out for as you're making your buying decisions, so let's go over those red flags now.
All right, so the first one is this: not taking the time to make a solid decision. Just being in a rush and thinking, I'm going to buy something today, anything. I just need some quick inventory and I'm going to rush through my sourcing so I can have stuff in my cart. Now, you might not be consciously thinking this exact thing, I'm going to rush through this, but that's what's happening. I mean, really, when it comes down to it, I don't think this is actually about rushing as much as it is about not having a system in place. I mean, a system keeps you on track. It helps you avoid those bad decisions. And I'm not just saying that you need to go slower. I mean, once you have that system in place, then you can start building up speed and start moving faster. But you need to have a system or you're going to miss major pieces of the puzzle that are going to lead you to bad decisions.
That's actually something we worked on in the 30-day sprint with retail arbitrage in Momentum FBA. In that module, we have daily tasks that are designed to build your speed and sourcing, but not at the cost of making a good decision.
Exactly. I mean, the sprint is worth the price of the monthly membership on its own. And if you want to check it out, fulltimefba.com/momentum.
Okay, the next red flag for building up a silent killer in your inventory that is going to eat up all your profits is not taking the time to learn how to interpret the data involved in selling on Amazon. And this can involve several things. And the biggest is not building a foundation of solid Keepa understanding. Keepa is where you're going to find all you need to know about sales rank history, pricing history, your competitors' offers, info on product variations, and just so much more. It's truly not possible to make good buying decisions without looking at this data, and it takes a bit of time and learning curve to understand those graphs, but we have a free tutorial at fulltimefba.com/readkeepa, so that's a good place for you to start.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why we talk about Keepa almost every week on this show. It's that important. So the silent killer can also involve not understanding your numbers. We've said this many times, but you have to know your numbers in your business. You need to be doing your regular bookkeeping and accounting and keeping track of what's working and what's not so that you even know if you're making money or losing money. You need to be able to look at your sales and your ROI, not your expected ROI, but the actual ROI, at least on a monthly basis, and if not more. This can go on even deeper as you look at overall ROI, then ROI on a supplier basis, or even a category basis, all the way down to an individual ASINs. That's a lot to look at and a lot to understand, but it's important. And the more that you look at these data points, the more you can find where you can make the adjustments to avoid making bad buying decisions in the future.
And the last red flag we want you to be aware of is not taking the time to just give it time. Mm-hmm. Cue that Amy Grant song. I keep thinking of that. But building a business takes time.
That's an oldie. Sorry.
It is an oldie, yeah.
Yep.
You got to give it time.
Yep, we're old. Okay, so I'm old. Okay, and I'm also distracting. Get back to it, Rebecca.
Okay, it takes time to get things set up, and it takes time to let things play out. You need to put in the time on a regular basis to learn strategies, implement them, and just do the mundane parts of a business day in and day out. You need to put in the reps of scanning and scanning and scanning. You need to practice making decisions, practice pricing and repricing. It's just like with any type of exercise. If you don't do the reps, you're not going to see the results. And then you need to give it time in terms of weeks and months of building things up and allowing a profit snowball to grow. You aren't going to build a successful, sustainable Amazon business in 6 weeks. Sorry to tell you that. Mm-hmm. You might be able to make some quick money on flips in that amount of time, but not a sustainable long-term business. 6 weeks is not long-term.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a quick side hustle or a get-rich-quick scheme, I don't really think Amazon is necessarily the best place for you to do that right now. I mean, maybe 10 years ago, you could open up an Amazon account, make a lot of money during Q4 and just be done with it. But that's not how it's done now. Amazon is an amazing opportunity for a long-term business. I mean, we've been doing since 2011, and we've coached tons of people in long-term businesses as well. And it just takes more than just a few weeks to get your footing and to see sustainable profits. And so if you're just starting off, you're 1 month in and you're looking at your inventory and you're wondering why things aren't doing any better, just remind yourself, it's going to take a few months of building. You're going to see progress along the way. You're going to see some wins in sales and profits, but the long-term benefits, they're going to take a little while.
And they're so worth it. We truly love working with our coaching students and Momentum FBA members and hearing their success stories. Stephen was telling me about a call just recently where a student was celebrating the milestone of regularly selling $100 every day on Amazon. And it was such a huge success because they've been working so hard and making all the effort that's needed, and they're seeing the payoff. Before you know it, that $100 is going to snowball into $1,000 a day in sales.
Yeah, I mean, I love hearing those stories from our students.
Well, to wrap it up, you can avoid these silent killers in your inventory with the right time invested in the right areas, in knowing your numbers, taking the time to make solid decisions on every inventory item, and putting in the investment up front to learn how to interpret the data and use it systematically when you're making inventory purchases.
Yeah, and on the flip side of how the wrong inventory can be a silent killer for your profits, it's that when you know where the right inventory is waiting for you, that your profits will snowball faster than ever. And that's why we're hosting a free masterclass October 23rd called Q4 Sourcing Hotspots 101. It's just 60 minutes and we're going to show you the exact aisles and the websites where the profitable inventory is hiding in plain sight this Q4. No more wandering to the wrong stores or scrolling endless pages online without anything to show for it. We want to avoid that together. So we want you to stop guessing and be able to go straight to the good stuff when you are sourcing. So to get your seat saved for the workshop, go to fulltimefba.com/hotspots and set a calendar reminder to join us October 23rd. That's fulltimefba.com/hotspots. Don't wait to join us. I mean, this one's going to fill up fast. And we'll see you there, and let's make Q4 your most profitable one yet.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. As always, the show notes and all of the links we mentioned in this episode can be found at fulltimefba.com/313 because this is episode number 313.
And next week on the podcast, we're going to be talking about why Q4 is not about luck. It's about location. And we'll dive into that next week on the Full-Time FBA Show.
That's all for this episode of the Full-Time FBA Show. So head over to fulltimefba.com/podcast, where you'll find the show notes and links from this episode. While you're there, subscribe to our newsletter where you'll get several free downloads of our popular and helpful Amazon FBA resources. Now, take action on what you've learned today so you can find success at turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA.